The relationship between NMN supplementation and autophagy in adipose tissue is not simply on or off. It is dose-dependent, dynamic, and context-sensitive. Adipose tissue, particularly white adipose tissue, WAT, is deeply involved in energy storage, hormonal signaling, and inflammation regulation, making it a crucial target in the management of obesity and age-related metabolic decline. As adipocytes age or become dysfunctional, their autophagic capacity diminishes, leading to impaired lipid turnover, mitochondrial stress, and chronic low-grade inflammation. NMN, through its ability to raise NAD+ levels and stimulate nutrient-sensing pathways such as SIRT1 and AMPK, offers a means of reactivating autophagic flux. Yet the extent and nature of this effect vary significantly depending on the dose, highlighting the importance of finding an optimal therapeutic window. At lower doses, NMN appears to initiate a modest increase in basal autophagic activity within adipocytes. This mild stimulation of autophagy is beneficial for routine maintenance functions, such as the removal of damaged proteins and early-stage organelle turnover, without placing excessive metabolic demand on the cell. Studies in animal models suggest that low-dose NMN improves insulin sensitivity and adiponectin secretion while reducing markers of oxidative stress. These effects are consistent with a subtle, homeostatic activation of autophagy, enough to maintain adipocyte function and protect against inflammation, but not strong enough to trigger broad structural remodeling of fat tissue. As NMN dosage increases, autophagic flux tends to rise in parallel, with more significant effects on both lipid droplet processing, lipophagy, and mitochondrial turnover, mitophagy. Medium doses of NMN have been shown to induce changes in gene expression related to autophagy, e.g., LC3-2, BECLN1, ATG7, and to promote the clearance of enlarged, dysfunctional lipid droplets in hypertrophic adipocytes. This enhances lipolysis efficiency, improves mitochondrial respiration, and reduces inflammatory cytokine secretion. At this level, NMN begins to shift adipocyte phenotype toward a more metabolically active profile, smaller in size, more insulin-sensitive, and less prone to hypoxia-induced stress. Importantly, the anti-inflammatory effects also become more pronounced at moderate dosing, likely due to improved immune adipocyte crosstalk and greater suppression of NF-B and inflammasome pathways. At high doses, NMN can stimulate more aggressive autophagic clearance, including deeper remodeling of adipose tissue architecture. In some studies, higher NMN levels have been associated with the browning of white adipose tissue, an energy-expending process that involves mitochondrial biogenesis and thermogenic gene expression, e.g., UCP1. This browning effect is closely tied to heightened autophagy, which clears lipid stores and makes room for denser mitochondrial populations. The thermogenic transition is especially valuable in combating age-related weight gain, as it increases basal energy expenditure. However, high-dose NMN also comes with more complex physiological consequences, including transient shifts in redox balance, AMP/ADP ratios, and possibly compensatory responses such as increased NEM, nicotinamide, production, which can inhibit sirtuins if not efficiently recycled. While these are not necessarily harmful, they underscore the importance of balance. More is not always better. Adipose tissue is not homogeneous, and different fat depots may respond differently to the same NMN dose. Subcutaneous adipose tissue tends to be more plastic and browning prone, showing strong adaptive responses to NMN at moderate to high doses. Visceral fat, which is more inflamed and fibrotic in aging and obesity, may require higher doses or longer treatment durations to overcome its resistance to autophagic activation. Additionally, depot-specific differences in NAD+ biosynthesis and utilization may influence the dose needed for meaningful autophagic stimulation. Timing and duration of dosing also matter. Short-term, high-dose NMN may transiently spike autophagy, but may not sustain long-term tissue remodeling. In contrast, chronic low to moderate dosing appears to promote a steady-state improvement in autophagic flux and adipocyte function, especially when combined with complementary lifestyle interventions like intermittent fasting or exercise, which also independently activate autophagy. Ultimately, the dose-dependent effects of NMN on autophagy in adipose tissue suggest a therapeutic range rather than a fixed dose-response curve. Too little NMN may provide insufficient autophagic stimulation to reverse dysfunction, while too much may overactivate catabolic processes or lead to feedback inhibition of NAD+ pathways. The goal is to find the metabolic sweet spot, a dose that activates cleanup mechanisms, restores mitochondrial and lipid dynamics, and reprograms adipocyte metabolism without triggering cellular stress or resource depletion. This nuanced relationship makes NMN not only a promising but also a precise metabolic tool. With optimized dosing strategies, NMN could help reverse adipocyte aging, reduce fat mass, and enhance fat tissue's role as a dynamic, insulin-sensitive organ, one that supports whole-body metabolic resilience, rather than undermining it. Future clinical trials that stratify NMN dosing across different body weights, ages, and fat depot distributions will be essential to translating these tissue-specific insights into personalized anti-obesity therapies.